Well, welcome Rice fans to the 14th year of Japanese GT racing for the 2006 Automac Super GT Series, which kicks off at a cold and windy Suzuka 300 kilometers. I'm Mark Cole, and Motors TV is again bringing you all 8 rounds of the world's fastest GT racing during the year. A quick reminder of the regulations: GT 500 for 500 horsepower factory cars from defending champion Toyota, from Nissan, from Honda. GT 300 is for 300 horsepower factory and privateer races from Toyota. Defending champion in this class too, Nissan, Honda and VMAC, with European spec GT cars from Ferrari, Porsche, Lamborghini and Mosler. The regulations are unchanged from last year, but there are some new cars, principally the Lexus SC430, which replaces the front-running GT 500 Toyota Supras. Round 1 over 52 laps of the 5.8 kilometer Japanese Grand Prix circuit. More than 30,000 fans watching the start. On pole, the Atra NSX of 2005 vice champion Furman starting alongside him, Ryo Mishigami. But off goes Kazuki Hoshino in the Calsonic Nissan. That's in the first corner, into the wall. He'll get out of that, but ahead of them, Ryo Mishigami in the sister Takata Dome NSX and Nissan in the Zanabi Z of 2004 champion Satoshi Motoyama take up the chase. Best Toyota at the moment is the new Lexus of Andre Lotterer. And Juichi Tachikawa in 5th and 6th place for the yellow hat Nissan of Naoki Yokozimo. Behind them, starting from row 4. So action already in the first corner here at the opening round of this series. It might be sunny, but it is very, very cold, and it's been cold and wet all weekend. But at last, they're getting underway here at Suzuka. Wonderful circuit, one of the favourite circuits of the Formula One field. Andre Couto taking Luac Duval for 8th place, riding the curbs there as they go into the hairpin. Great move by Andre Couto, driving one of the 2 Supras still in the race. This is the Sard Supra from last year. Luac Duval, a new guy from France in the Epson NSX. That's the car run by Satoru Nakajima. Getting out already on this first lap, the car's getting ahead. Let's have a look behind them, see what's happening in GT 300, because in GT 300 we have Koto Sasaki in the Kiko Huazan Nissan Z, normally aspirated unlike the GT 500 twin turbos, and he started the GT 300. Here we are, there we are, from the 2 Japanese Lamborghini owner club Murcielago RG1s of Kojo Yanamashi, who's already gotten to the lead, and Italian Marco Apicella. Well, Lamborghini is still looking for its first win after racing in Japan since 1994. That's the moment that the car took the lead from the pole position car. So it's Lamborghini leading from Nissan, and then coming up as well, Masaya Kageyama in the endless Advan 2 Nissan. So we have Lamborghini, Nissan and Nissan, then Kageyama moving up into 2nd place, and then behind them, Marco Apicella, 4th place in that Lamborghini. Problems in GT 500, Luac Duval just going off on the outside of turn 1 as he starts lap 2. Not a good start to his Super GT career. The series, which, as we said, is its 14th season now. So great racing already here in the Autobac Super GT series. We lost the factory-run MTech Honda NSX, which finished 2nd in GT 300 last year after 2 wins. Also the Garai, with which series sponsor Autobacs took a win on its way to 3rd. Otherwise, there's been remarkably little change in the 2006 Harborough. There's been plenty of driver shuffling over the winter. We'll explain that as the race goes on. Most notably, we've lost Britain's 2004 Super GT and Formula Nippon champion Richard Lance. He's gone to race in Australian V8 supercar, and he's been replaced by Honda's Sugio Matsuda in the Nissan. Likewise, Nissan's Yuji Ida has left the series for Aguri Suzuki's Formula One team, while Toyota's Sakon Yamamoto has also jumped ship to Nissan. Honda's also lost German Andre Lotterer. He's been snatched up by Toyota, and there he is. That is his car at the moment, right up there in 2nd place in the open interface Lexus. Andre Lotterer, former Jaguar Formula One test driver. Here's Ryo Mishigami going off. This is in the daunting 130R. Mishigami goes well wide off, and that's how Lotterer got into 2nd place. Well, after 2 days of February testing on this circuit, owned by Honda, Honda came out on top with the Atra NSX of Britain Ralph Furman and Daisuke Ito, which is probably why they're leading the race at the moment, a full half-second quicker than the Calsonic Nissan of France's Benoit Trellier and Kazuki Hoshino, who's been moved up from GT 300 to replace Ida. Ida struggling, of course, with that Suzuki team in Formula One at the moment. The field already stringing out separate starts as we saw, but when we look at GT300 again, hopefully we'll see that Boxster of Porsche Boxster of Ishisho Suga and Takahashi Iho, the Arctic car, which in testing in February was incredibly quick, running second fastest only to the Gym Center Ferrari F360 of Tetsuya Tanaka and Takayuki Aoki. There indeed at the moment is the overall standings, the top 6 after 2 of what will be 52 laps around this toughest of circuits. Suzuka very much in the news this week. They have lost the Japanese Grand Prix. Fuji Speedway on the other side of Tokyo has won the Japanese Grand Prix for 2007, but their moves even as we speak to get the race reinstated here for next year as the Pacific Grand Prix. Japan had 2 of those in the past, the last at Aida, and they would like to get that back here. Toyota own Fuji, Honda own Suzuka, so there's no politics of course in it. Well, there is the 87 Trike Murcielago RG1, as we said, the Japanese Lamborghini Owners Club car. Great move at the moment there by the 87 car, and that's Koji Yamanashi on board that at the moment from Masami Kageyama, and Marco Apicella now up into 3rd place in the 2nd Lamborghini, one of them black, the other white, and both these Lamborghinis have been entered for the Le Mans 24 Hours this year, so look forward to seeing those at Le Mans in June if the entries are accepted. We hope they will be. What we won't be seeing there is any of the Maseratis, because the Team Go Maserati has been withdrawn from the series for the moment. They just couldn't get enough speed out of the car. Terrible troubles with their aerodynamics, and that car might be not to start the series this year, one of the MC12s which ran in the FIA GT Championship last year. Well, here's Ralph Furman then, leading the field down the hill. Andre Lotterer behind him, so we got the 2 former Formula 1 drivers out front at the moment. Ralph Furman, of course, for Jordan, Andre Lotterer, test driver for Jaguar, and those cars starting to pull away a little bit. Still Michigami in the Takata Dome NSX, then the Zanavi number 23 Nissan of Motoyama, one win last year, and right behind him the number 1 champion Zensarumo car of Yuji Tachikawa. 3 wins last year with Toru Takagi, and that gave him the championship at the finale, held at a wet Suzuka, this very same circuit. In 6th place, the number 22 Motel Ortec Nissan Z of Sakon Yamamoto. Just to remind you, the engines, the 3.5 litre V6s in the Nissans are twin turbocharged. The Toyotas have V8s, they go for a slightly bigger V8, and the Hondas are on the 3.5 litre normally aspirated V6s. All these cars giving around 500 horsepower. Engine has to come from the same manufacturer. You have air restrictors. You can put the engine anywhere, any position you like, as long as it stays within the original engine compartment. You have a sequential 6-speed transmission, steel brakes, power steering. Transmission and suspension are free, single caliper brakes, but no ABS, no traction control, no auto transmissions, no telemetry, no carbon brakes. Cars have to be flat bottomed. What they can do is put front and rear subframes a la NASCAR style on the original cockpit. You can use composite materials for bumpers, bonnet, boot and doors, front and rear wings. You can add a rear wing even if the original car doesn't have one. And also you can have a carbon composite for structural parts if they're that way on the standard cars. Both categories, one on 28-inch wheels, 14 inches wide in 500 and 12 inches wide in GT300. Well, great battles going on still here in the field. Looking at Michigami really having a go at Lotterer there. Still that Takata Dome, the green NSX in 3rd place. Ryo Michigami to head out into the countryside once again up past the funfair section. Great circuit, Suzuka. As we said, everyone loves this track. Heading down now into the Degner curve. Very, very tight around this part. Into Degner. Double twitch. That brings them under the crossover. It's the only current Formula 1 circuit that has figure of 8 on it. Braking hard for the hairpin. Turn 6, very, very tight. Powering out of that then into the 200R, 200-degree radius curve, and then this brings us down to Spoon Curve, which is a very, very tricky corner. Those of you who know this circuit from the PlayStation know just how difficult this is. 2 bites of the cherry. There's the first one. It's a double apex into the second part, through that apex, and then powering out that long, long back stretch. That's really pushing the parcel now on these cars. Up they go, close to 180 miles an hour up the hill there, and then into the 130R, one of the most fearsome corners in modern-day motor racing. You remember Alan McNeish had a huge accident in the Toyota there 3 years ago in the Japanese Grand Prix. That has now been replaced with a tarmac runoff and a huge, huge foam padding on the walls. So anyone who goes off there and hits it hopefully walks away without too much damage to the car. Ralph Furman then, he comes down past those crowded stands, 30,500 people. Down the hill he comes. Ralph Furman then leading at the end of lap 6. Is he going to stay there? We're going to take a short break in a moment, but we'll be back at Suzuka rejoining after these commercials.
そうですね、ARTA まさに安定してますですね。そうです。これが2番手です。ファーストドライバーはアンドレ・ロッテラー36号車オープンインターフェーストムス・レクサス。
Second place, the open interface, Tom's SC430. Andre Lotterer still at the wheel of that car. The new Lexus, really super low line compared with the older Supra. And he is really pushing now, trying to catch up with Ralph Furman. But in third place still, the Takata Dome NSX of Ryo Mishigami. We'll be back after the break.
飯田明選手でしたが、ここでドライバー入れ替わって
Welcome back to Suzuka, lap 20 of the opening round of the Japanese Super GT Series. Ralph Furman for Honda against Andre Lotterer for Toyota Lexus, and they're fighting out the lead here down to the hairpin on the lap 20. Ralph Furman really covering his options, but look at that, Lotterer's really got the power down now, and Lotterer is about to make the move. I think he's gone very, very wide at the 200R. He's tucked right underneath the rear wing of that M-Tech built Dome NSX, and into Spoon, he outbrakes him. Andre Lotterer then really piles it on. He only just keeps it on the island. I think Ralph had to back off there. He wondered exactly what was going to happen there. Oh dear, that was a great pass there. I'm sure we'll see that again. So, for the first time in this race, 20 laps in of 52, we have Toyota entered car, the Lexus SC430, the new shape car. It's still got the old Supra running gear underneath it. We're still looking at that 499 brake horsepower Toyota V8. Lexus absolutely determined to conquer first time out. Look at the way he passed him on the outside into Spoon. You don't see that in Formula One. You really don't. Lotterer almost riding up on those outside curbs, and if you get that wrong, you go off in the next part of the corner. Well, there he is already passing back markers and putting distance now over pursuing the pursued, having been past Ralph Furman. So Ralph Furman looking to try and hold on to that second place. In comes Motoyama in the number 23 Zanabi Nissan. This is the car that ran as number 1 last year when it was still defending champion. Now got the number 23, which is Nissan's factory number, because in Japanese 2 and 3 are Ni and San. You can make your own conclusions. So Matsuda is going to take over this car. That's Sugio Matsuda. He's the man who's replaced Richard Lyons, who we said has gone off to Australian V8 supercar. It's a quick stop. Only 2 mechanics are allowed to do the wheels. The rest, you have 5 mechanics on the car and all, but only 2 are allowed to do the wheels. You can see there, 1 either side. Off he goes. 4 wheels changed. You can work on the cars whilst refueling. That's different from the Le Mans regulations. So Matsuda rejoins. He, at the moment, will be, I think, probably in about 9th place when he rejoins. That car was running in 4th. Furman now under some pressure from the number 1 Zent Lexus SC. This is the number 1 earned by Yuji Tachikawa and Toru Takagi last year. The Zent Sumo Supra may have changed to the Lexus, and in fact they take second place. Through they go. Tachikawa takes second place away from Ralph Furman. I think Furman's about to stop. They're just coming into the chicane. I think Ralph Furman was due to pit on this lap. And if he does, they'll put Daisuke Ito in. Where is Ralph? There he is. He's on the inside. He's heading for the pits. His car in second place, as indeed the man from Norfolk, Ralph Furman, son of Ralph Furman Sr., the man who started his career as chief mechanic for the Jim Russell Racing School. His son Ralph then becoming Japanese Formula 3 champ. We've got a spinner, Yamamoto. That's Yamamoto. He spun in the pit lane entrance, would you believe? That's not the place to do it. Sakon Yamamoto in the Motel Automatic Nissan. Doesn't quite know which way to get out of that. I think he's hit the wall. There's a little bit of damage on the front of the car. It's very careless. Yeah, you can see opposite. He's to do the car park behind. But here we have the Peter Dumbreck car. This is Peter Dumbreck in the number 35 Bandai Lexus. Peter Dumbreck, who drove the Yellow Hat Super last year. He's one of the four teams who have got these new cars, the new Lexuses. There's still two of the older ones racing. He's got a blown rear tyre as he heads in. Back then, Ito rejoining. Ralph Furman brought the car in, so Daisuke Ito, vice champion, along with Ralph Furman in. 23 car also rejoins Matsuda now at the wheel. Peter Dumbreck struggling to get to the pits. Number 35 car, that won't help there. 22 car stopping then. This is the Moto Alltech car of Yamamoto, the man we just saw stuck in the pit lane having spun. Mikael Krum, the German, he takes his car over from Yamamoto. There's the crew at work on the car. Only 2 men on the wheels out of the 5 who are working on it. Fuel going in at the back end. Checking underneath, make sure there's no damage. Heat, of course, not a problem today. Very cold here. It's only just about 12 degrees Celsius here. Spins the back wheels. And Mikael Krum has that car back out into the race. Well, there is Ralph Furman. Where's he joined? We'll see in a moment. In that number 8 car. I think we'll find him in second place now to Daisuke Ito. Daisuke Ito rather driving the car, and he'll be in second place to Yamamoto, I think. Let's have a look, see where we are. First and second. No, it's not going to be, because first and second at the moment are indeed, haven't stopped yet. The 36 car, the open interface, Tom's car of Andre Lotter leading. In second place, the number 1 Zetsurumo of Tachika. First and second, I guess we'll put Ito in this orange Tata NSX into third place for the moment. We'll find out the other two make their pit stops. Downhill comes Ito, passing back markers, one of the GT300 Nissans. An interesting new cars here this weekend, one we haven't seen yet. I hope we will see it eventually. Is the Japanese Mooncraft Shiden, which is a car based on a Grand Am Riley, would you believe? It's engined, but a very interesting car for the simple reason that Shiden, for those of you who know your Japanese World War II aircraft, was the fighter that replaced the Japanese Mitsubishi Zero. That's a famous old name. It's been resurrected. Mooncraft, in fact, built this car as a sports coupe in 1977, raced it here. But this, at the moment, is our battle for the lead of the race. This is our first and second place cars. 36 car of Lotterer, the open interface Lexus, and right behind the Zen car, both of them are heading for the pits. They're going to pit together first and second, so this should put into the lead either Daisuke Ito or one of these may come out. We won't know, obviously, until they rejoin exactly how the cards are going to fall. Cars coming at the same time. The 36 car goes a little bit further down the hill, but there seem to be some real problems for the number 1 car, having problems getting the wheels off. You can see a bit of panic there by mechanics and marshals. They're refueling both cars, but that front wheel appears to be stuck. There we are. They can't get them off. I think a bit of a problem there. It's going to take longer to get that off. Wheels have changed now. It's taking very, very slightly longer for the number 1 car. Out he goes. He's still spinning the rear wheels. That was the 36 car we saw getting out first. This is going to put everyone. Takagi following him out. Oh, it was almost a collision there with the Takata Dome as they came out. The Takata Dome, which Ryo Mishigami just handed over to Takahashi Togura. Here's Toru Takagi. Oh, he goes wide. He's on the grass, and Takagi's off. That's a big mistake by Takagi there. Just outbraked himself completely into turn one. And once you get into that desert there, it takes you a while to get back, and you do all sorts of damage to the car. You get dust and dirt everywhere. The tyres are off. There, incidentally, is that Scheiden, the car we're talking about, just passing him. That blue and yellow car, most beautiful looking car. Problems, they had to start from the pit lane. Here we are, let's have a look again at the moment when Toru Takagi, the defending champion, makes a very much a rookie mistake. Just cold tyres, turns in too late, trying to keep ahead of that Takata Dome of Takashi Kogure. This car breaks clear, the number one Zent. Left down in third or fourth place. Takagi lost a bundle of time, then he's fallen back amongst the Toyota MRSs and other runners. Not happy with the car yet, hasn't got it back up to speed. He's a little bit concerned about something there because other cars are passing him, but have to watch that, see if he's going to have to go into the pits or not. So at the moment, Zencar now getting back up to speed. Obviously, Takagi worried there might have been something wrong with it. He's checked it out, decided there isn't. Meanwhile, that appears to have put the Andre Lotterer-driven car, which Juichi Wakisaka has now taken over, into the lead. Let's go to Andre Lotterer in the pits.
Andre, you made a good job and looking in good shape. Yeah, I'm surprised. We did some really good changes from yesterday to today, and the car is much better to drive. So for me, it was more easy to keep the pace and to push hard. And then, yeah, it was a lot of wind, so the conditions were difficult. And the NS6 had really good traction, so it was difficult, and I surprised him, and we got in the lead. And at the end, the number 100 was a little bit in front of me, but looks like we have a good chance.
自分にとってもね、今回その急にですね調子良くなってきたというところは、チームがですね昨日からかなりそのマシンのセッティングを変更してくれたというところですね。で、風が強くてですね、で NSX のトラクションはいいし、でつけるかなと思ったんですけど、どんどんついていけたと。そしてですね抜けたというところでは、自分にとってもびっくりしたし、NSX も我々がですね抜いたということにしてすごくびっくりしてるんじゃないかなというふうに言ってますね。Okay, so we're looking forward to the winning of the first race.
Wow, let's be realistic. It's still a long race.
おっと、ここで NSX がトムスのレクサスに並ぼうというところ。
Some action now. Yeah, keep the fingers crossed.
もちろんですね、これからですね、レースは長丁場だし、このままですね、お願いしながら見守っていくしかないということで言ってます。
So we're back to the race order number one at the moment. The 36 car of Wakisaka, Andre Lotterer's teammate. Number 2 is number 8. After NSX of Daisuke Ito, and in third place we have the number 23 car, the Zanabi Nismo Nissan Z of Sugio Matsuda, the one he's taken over from 2004 champion Satoshi Motoyama. So very, very close racing. We're just coming up now to lap 28 of 52. We're over half distance now, just over half distance. All the pit stops have now been made. We're down to racing now, all the way to the checkered over the next 24 laps, and this is as close as it's ever going to get, isn't it? You've got first, second and third all running the same, almost the same part of track. Lights flashing there on the Nissan. He's just gone through. That is the 23 cars just taken the place from Ito. So we have at the moment Toyota, Nissan and Honda. First, second and third, that's the three principal GT500 contenders. And down in GT300, Wadaku has taken over the Trike Murcielago RG1, but he's lost his lead in GT300. That has gone to Yasutaka Hinoi in the Lamborghini. He shares in Marco Apicella. There was a slight problem in the pits, and the white Murcielago got out first. Battle goes on. There we are, confirmation of the order. So what we're actually looking at there is the fight between the 4th and 5th places, because we're waiting for the Woodoney Z to stop. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with you here on Motors in just a moment.
そして4番手の NSX が事実上のトップ争い、この画面でご覧いただいている争いです。さあ伊藤が背後から不気味に伺う。
Welcome back to Motors. Welcome back to our coverage of the opening round of the 2006 Autobac Super GT Championship here in Japan. All the pit stops are finished now, and I can confirm the race order on lap 33 is now number 1 is the 36 car of Juichi Wakisaka. It's the open interface Tom's Lexus SC430. In second place, the number 8 car. This car we're looking at the moment. The Daisuke Ito driven Honda Arta NSX, and in third place the number 23 Navinismo Z of Sugio Matsuda. It's just shuffling those orders around the bane, and Ito falling behind that Nissan just before the break. He's now, over the course of the last 5 laps, taken that place back again. And there we are, we have finally confirmation of what's going on. The green Takata NSX, the dome-built M-Tech powered car, the number 18 car there, which started from the front row of the grid, now being run by Takashi Kogure. He took that in from Ryo Mishigami. The number 1 Zent Lexus, not Supra, that's a change from last year. That number 1 car now in the hands of Toru Takagi. He's come back up to 5th place after going off in the first lap. Peter Dumbrek, you'll notice, overcoming his puncture to get back into 6th place and handing the car over to Naoki Hattori. There's that Lamborghini, the GT300 class leader, and that is the car that has moved into the lead. Hinoi, Yasutaka Hinoi, a new name to us. In second place at the moment, Taku Bamba, another new name. Wada Q in the Trike Mercy RG1. So there they are, first and second, the 2 Lamborghinis. What an afternoon this is going to be for Lamborghini, if they can just pull it off, but don't do that too often. Big puff of smoke there as he changed down that V12, 5.7 litre V12, and let's hope that is not the sign of anything that might be happening to that car, because Lamborghini have got so close so many times only to fail. Huge accident, you remember, last year we had at one of the rounds when one of the cars has crashed heavily by Marco Apicella. Lucky to walk away from that one, but those 2 cars at the moment are the class of the GT300 field. They've been racing since 1994, Japanese Lamborghini Owners Club here in Japan, and have not yet had a win. Could today be the day? Into the pits then. Porsches, it's the number 11 car, the Hankook Endless Porsche, number 14 that is. That's Mitsuhiro Kinoshita. Now this is an interesting moment, because that announces the entry of Hankook, the Korean tyre company, into the series. We've got 6 tyre companies now. Bridgestone is supplying most of the front runners, Dunlop, Yokohama. Then we've got Kumho tyres, and we have also got Michelin and Hankook now come in and join the fray. So an impressive 6 tyre manufacturers here in the Super GT Series for 2006. Still looking at the battle up front. This is as close as it's been all afternoon. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 just coming under the bridge there into the picture. And then right behind that green Takata dome there, the yellow hat
222です。そしてこれは現在3番手。
迫ってきましたね。
Naoki Yokozimo, Jean-Paul Lima d'Oliveira, who has come from Brazil. He was the 2005 Japanese Formula 3 champion, making his debut Super GT Series here this afternoon. Beautiful sunshine, but that really does not show how cold it is. We even had snow here on Friday, and it's been bitterly cold wind. And Ralph Furman complaining during qualifying that the wind was really affecting their super aerodynamically sensitive NSX. Whether they're running into the wind or had it behind them, made a huge difference around this circuit the weekend. Enthusiastic crowd as ever. Crowd that's probably a little bit disappointed they're not going to get the Japanese Grand Prix next year. The Pacific Grand Prix is still Formula 1, and apart from the name, unlikely to make a huge difference here. It's the Takata car in the hands of Takashi Kogure. This is our race leaders going through the S's after the first corner. Climb up that hill through a long Dunlop curve, very steeply climbing. 12 corners in all here at Suzuka. It's confirmation of the running order. So the Zent #1 car still in 5th. The #3 yellow hat Tamika Nissan of d'Oliveira in 6th place at the moment, 16 seconds down. But it's too close to call up front, just 0.7 of a second between the Lexus and the little red Honda. Honda, of course, profiting last year from dropping their twin-turbo engines and going to normally aspirated V6s halfway through the season. That's when the wins really started coming, pole positions and wins. And Ralph Furman amongst the winners, and Ito finishing as vice champions at the end of a very hard-fought season. So that 23 Zanavi Nismo car of Matsuda, Sugio Matsuda really pushing hard to try and keep up. And again, huge puff of smoke from that black second-place Lamborghini. Looking more and more serious each time as he shifts down for the 130R into the chicane, then the Casio triangle as they call it. And look at that, Ralph Furman right up with the leading car now, right on the tail of that Lexus SC340. This has been a big move for Toyota. Toyota at the moment does not have the Lexus brand in Japan. That is specifically for America and Europe. Now they're trying to push to get Lexus in, and this is the way they hope to do it. Let's go out and try and win with the car called a Lexus, they say, and that's why they've replaced 4 of their 6 Supras with 4 Lexuses. So Ito really on his tail, tucked underneath, and all the time that factory Nismo Z of Matsuda is closing in on them as they weave through back markers. Traffic, of course, as in any mixed GT racing where you have 2 lots of classes, faster and slower, it's always going to give you problems trying to get through the traffic. There's a lot of traffic here. 39 cars started this race, and at the moment we have 38 of them still running. Lights blazing as Makisaka comes up, goes past the GT300 leading Lamborghini. It's the car of Yasutaka Hinoi, showing it of Marco Apicella. Got a good lead now, 17 seconds over the second place Lamborghini in the class. Look at that, that's very tight as Matsuda on the outside of the Lamborghini, coming into Spoon. Up the hill then, fastest part of the circuit. Not quite as steep as it looks from the camera. Then absolutely flat into 130R. You just don't lift off for that, but then make sure you start braking before the bridge because you've got that chicane coming up, and the chicane so tight. Andre Lotterer then looking on, seeing his car still in the lead. Blue-eyed German wondering, can they take that win today? He would just be so delighted, having made the move from Honda last year. He drove all season long. Sugio Matsuda won 2nd place, that was in round 6.
本山選手のインタビューをご覧いただきました。現在はその
Mategi,
本山のパートナー松田
no win last year, so this would be a big moment for Andre Lotter if he could take the win this opening round of the 2006 series. So a lot of races to go. We've got Okayama, second round, Fuji, 500 kilometers, the third round in May. June 25th, we go to Sepang in Malaysia. July the 23rd to Sugo. And then August the 20th, the biggest change to the calendar. The Japanese GTs run as part of the Suzuka 1,000 kilometers, the Poker 1,000 kilometers, something they've not done before. September they're in Mategi, October they're in Autopolis, and it finishes at Fuji again, the second time at Fuji on November the 5th. So a long, long season ahead. As we said, Motors will be bringing you all those races.
そこをついた松田次を
Matsuda takes second place from Ito. Just running through that list. This is lap 42. Can Matsuda keep it there now? So we're going to go for a break. Here it comes. Here comes the pass as they go into the Casio triangle. Absolutely clean. There's nothing Ito could do about it. The car was there. He could do nothing. Welcome back to Motors, welcome back to Suzuki as we go into the final part of the opening round of the Japanese Super GT Series. Great racing all afternoon here. We're now on lap 48 of 52, just 4 to go. And leading the race at the moment, Juichi Wakisaka in the open interface Tom's Lexus SC430, the car which replaced the Supra, and right behind him the number 23 Zanavi Nismo Z of Sugio Matsuda. Just before the break, we saw Matsuda take second position away from Daisuke Ito in the Honda Arta NSX. He shares with Ralph Furman. These two cars now fighting for the lead. Lexus out front, Nissan second, Honda third. So all three manufacturers in GT 500 in first, second and third places at the moment. It looks like it could well stay that way. GT 300, the story at the moment is Lamborghini is still first and second with 4 laps to go. What an afternoon that would be the Santa Agata manufacturer if those cars could actually pull off their first ever win in GT racing. Not just in Japan, but in anywhere in the world. Apart, of course, from Stefan Rattel's Lamborghini Diablo series. That was some years ago, of course. And these are the Lamborghini Murcielago RGTs, cars that have just been relaunched at the Geneva Motor Show. New bodywork. These, of course, are the current versions. No doubt they'll take advantage of the new shape body when that is available. So there's our first and second cars. Here's the third place car. Ito flashing his way through because he's got the Takata Dome NSX of Takashi Koguru right on his tail. And right behind them, the number 1 defending champions, Yuji Tachikawa and Toru Takagi in the Zen Tsurumo Lexus SC. C430. Underneath still has the Supra mechanicals, just a different body shape. 3 to go then. That gap coming down a little bit more between second and third now. Is that because Wakisaka's put on the pressure, or is it because Matsuda's falling back a little bit? They were much closer than this a lap ago. 23 factory Nissan. It's the car run by Shidegawa, chief of Nismo. It's the number 1 car, of course, last year, was defending the championship. Andre Lotter then showing his nerves at this stage of the race. That all-important first win for him and for the Lexus. Only a few minutes away now with 2 laps to go. Sun starting to sink over Nagoya. Circuit on the edge of the Pacific Ocean. Ito's starting to fall back a little bit. The gap's now opened up to something like 5 seconds between the leading Lexus and the Arta NSX. Ito has got Takashi Kogure climbing all over him in the green Dome NSX. Some back markers again, going past the Mosler there. We haven't seen much of that in this race. In fact, GT300's had quite poor poor deal this afternoon. Directors concentrating on the GT500 fight. It's the factory battles, of course. Very few factory cars in GT300. Nissan having put it out there. Car they ran last year. So Tech have pulled out their Nissan, their Honda NSX they ran last year. Down to privateers. 2 to go. Ito flashing his lights as he comes through. He's going past the Scheiden we talked about earlier, the Grandam Riley Lexus engined. As our race leader, absolutely not a foot wrong this afternoon by the Andre Lotterer or by Juichi Wakisaka, who has handed the car over. Wakisaka then just keeping the car going, placing it beautifully around the Suzuka circuit. Sugio Matsuda doing his best to keep pace of it. Matsuda making his name for himself last year with Andre Lotterer, of course. Driving for Honda. Driving partners last year, now find they're fighting in Toyota and Nissan camps this year. It's 2 of the many driver changes over the close season. Any manufacturer-driven series, you always hope the podium will be made up of those 3 participants, and as indeed will be the case this afternoon. At the moment, with just 1 lap to go. Lexus, Toyota from Nissan, from Honda. Major Japanese motor manufacturers. There's the Lexus, great view of the front of it. First glance doesn't look hugely different to the Supra, but you can see the subtle changes. He goes past the Shidan. Over the start-finish line. The final lap. That gap over the Zanavi Nismo now 3 seconds, and over the Arta Honda almost 7 seconds. Behind the 2 Lamborghinis, still 1 and 2. The white car that Marco Apicella started in the hands of Yasutaka Hinoi. Right behind it, black trike Masilago of Wada-Kyu and Koji Yamanashi. It's turning from the pits there. There's problems for the black Lambo. It's in the pits. And it's smoking a lot more. Obviously something to do with the puffs we saw earlier. All that is of no interest at all to this man. Juichi Wakisaka round the hairpin for the final time. 52nd and final time, 2 hours almost into this race. Just 1 driver stop change, 1 refueling, 1 change of tyres. Well, there's that Lamborghini leaving now then. He has had a problem and he's lost his 2nd place. 2nd place then taken over by the little Mazda RX-7, the Amamiya Aspira Drink Mazda RX-7 of Tetsuya Yamano and Hirokiyuki Ayuri. That's the only rotary engine car in the race, but here we are, lights flashing through 130R for the final time, up into the Casio Triangle, and Juichi Wakisaka, Andre Lotterer, about to give Lexus its first ever win in the Super GT Series. We've seen Lexus winning in Grandam, powering the Chip Ganassi team, but we have not seen a win in the Super GT for Lexus. First time out, they take the checker flag, and it's a big afternoon. First time out for a new car, and Lexus takes it. Open interface, Tom's Toyota, Juichi Wakisaka, Andre Lotterer win the race by 3.4 seconds from the Zanavi Nismo Fairlady Z 350Z of Satoshi Motoyama and Sugio Matsuda. And in 3rd place coming home will be the Arta NSX of Daisuke Ito and Ralph Furman. A good start to Ralph's campaign. Here though, Lamborghini about to win. This will be an even more historic moment. 16 years after starting the campaign in Japan, they finally take their first win, as Marco Apicella and Yasutaka Hinoi take the Actio Murcielago RG1 to the GT300 win over Mazda, and finishing in 5th place in class will be the black Murcielago, which has failed to complete the last lap, so overcome by problems in that final lap, having made a pit stop. There is the 2nd place car. It's a car that on motors we really praised up last year, smallest car in the race, that little 2-litre Amamiya Aspira drink Mazda RX-7. Hiroaki Airi and Tetsuya Yamano bring it home in 2nd place. They'll be delighted with that as well. Just having a look down the rest of the finishing order, we're looking for Peter Dumbreck. They never really came back from that puncture. The Bandai Direza Lexus, they finished eventually in 14th place, a lap down. But there's the Lamborghini, the black Lamborghini. He's crawling around the circuit. No drive, apparently, or no power. Is he going to make it up the hill? No, I think it's too much of a climb there coming up the back stretch. This is the man who's on top of the world at the moment, Juichi Wakisaka. Andre Lotterer then clinching that first win, maximum points for them. Narvin Ismo second after NSX, Takata Dome NSX, and then the Zensarumo Lexus finishing in 5th place. So 22 points puts Andre Lotterer of Germany with Juichi Wakisaka of Japan into a convincing opening race lead. Well, 2nd race almost a month away. Tends to be a whole month between each race. Be it Okayama, the previously known Aida circuit. 300 kilometers on April the 9th. Now we have the great moment for Lamborghini, the Murcielagos. What a great result for them. But we'll be back from Okayama here on Motors in a month's time. We look forward to seeing you then for more Japanese Super GT. Keep watching. Enjoy all the best World Sports Car Racing here on Motors TV.
Up from the dust, we would raise ourselves. This time that extra bit of luck is on our side.